Hello, everyone. I am going to wait just a few minutes to let everyone get on. I am super excited because these cards are cute with a capital C. Eee! Like I did this class in person on, I don't even know what day of the week it is anymore, on Tuesday. And yeah, there was lots of little giddy squeals and everything. So it was super, super fun. Hi, Denise. Hi, Laura. I'm so excited. And in the event of cute little animals, I thought I would show the cupcakes that I made today because they're not going to look good tomorrow. So, like, I actually kind of did them on a whim. You guys all know how I'm like a huge cupcake fan. Love to eat them, love to make them. But the thing is look how the eyes are like bleeding because of the moisture. And they're actually turning a little bit yellow. I got these eyeballs. They're just like little like sweet tart sort of things. And I got them and made Elmo faces for Claire's birthday. And the red dye from the icing bled onto them. And let's just say Elmo looked a little scary. The yellow is a lot better because it's a lot more subtle. Hi, Jan. Hi, Karen. But yeah, the moisture from it is not good. So these probably are not going to look the best tomorrow morning. But either way, they're super cute right now for the photo at least. Some of my eyes, like kind of like one eye would fall like down a little bit. So it was a little bit like wonky, but either way, they taste really good and they look cute too. So I'm happy with them. So yeah, there is still a few kits left. So if you are on and you want one of these kits, I do still have a few kits left. I did leave a link in the description box so that you can sign up for that. Of course, you can always download the PDF tutorial, which has all the measurements, step-by-step instructions, and everything else. And you can get that at etsy.com/shop/Laura's Stamp Pad. And you can see all the tutorials on there for all the past classes as well. I'm a cupcake connoisseur. Well, I mean, I don't know if I would go that far. I just have fun with it. I don't know. I love baking. Hi, Susan. Like I always tell Brad, I want to go on the British Bake Off, and he's like, you have to be British and you're not. And I'm like, why do you always have to crush my dreams? And then he just laughs at me and he's like, there's nothing I can do about that. Like, you're not British. So yeah, I want to be in like one of those. And he also says how I would not be good at one of those because I don't like to follow recipes. And he's like, I'm not so sure how good you would be like on the whim. I know that I would be really like crazy with the time constraint. I think that would like freak me out and stuff. But yeah, who knows? Hi, Colleen. Oh, welcome. I'm so excited to have so many people from all over the place. So let's go ahead and get started. So I have everything that comes in the packet in front of me. Of course, we're using the Hello Ladybug stamp set as well as the coordinating punch. Your friend's daughter did it? Oh my gosh, how amazing! That would be so cool. I also would love to meet Mary Berry in person or Paul. Paul, what is his last name? I actually think he's kind of cute. Paul. Oh, I can't think of his name. And then there's the new girl who took over for Mary Berry. She's pretty cool too. Paul. I want to say like I'm thinking of Friends and I'm thinking Paul the wine guy off of Friends. Um but yeah, the stamp set is photopolymer, and I actually have every single image from the stamp set mounted on a clear block because we are using every single image for these 5 cards. So how cool is that? Like we are using this stamp set and punch like to the fullest. And the other cool thing about it is we're making more than just ladybugs. So if you're thinking, yeah, but how much ladybug do I really need? you do, because we're making more than just ladybugs, and you have to keep watching to see what all we are going to create. Okay, so I am actually going to start with the red card. So if you have your packet, then get out the red card base card, which I don't know if I even said in the very beginning, but welcome everyone. Welcome on Facebook. Welcome on YouTube. This is my April online card class. It is free to watch this. You can always purchase the card kit, which I still have some available, or you can purchase the PDF tutorial if you want all the measurements and step-by-step instructions and everything like that. You can purchase that. There's a link in the description under both YouTube and Facebook, so you can check those out. So we're going to make 5 cards tonight. This is the first one. Super, super cute. And this one, we're actually going to start by stamping the ladybug. So we're going to take our real red and fold it in half for our card base. And then we're going to go ahead. There's 2 pieces of Whisper White in the same size. One is for the front, one is for the inside. So the front one, we can go ahead and adhere to the front. And then we're going to set that aside a little bit. This one, we're actually going to stamp with the flowers as well as the front. And I want to show you a few things. We're using Granny Apple Green and Daffodil Delight. I did re-ink them. I think they're good. I will say, after doing this class and doing so many like solid images, it really helps to re-ink and have a good ink pad. Otherwise, you really get variations in colors, especially on the leaf. With the leaf being so large, then you get that that funky variation in color. So one of the other things that I wanted to say about a solid stamp image is, and when I say solid, I mean like the ladybug body is kind of like a line art, but these are solid stamped images where there's a lot of solid inking of the stamp. So when you have that, you can sometimes get like some wonky colors going on. So let me share with you. This one is not like super clean. Obviously, you can see I've used it before for this. Let me see. I was thinking I wasn't going to need. Okay, here's a piece I can use. Let's use a clean one. So I want to show you how sometimes you'll get an image like this, and I hope it does it right. So ink it up. A lot of like just gentle tap, tap, tap. You don't really want to like squish in the ink pad. You just want to do a gentle tap, tap, tap. Sometimes even like moving around on the ink pad, again, to get the ink from all over. If you're always going to the center of your ink pad, the center of your ink pad is going to get lighter and the outsides are going to be still darker. So then you have a big image like this, and you're going to have the outsides are going to be darker and the inside's going to be light. So when you go to stamp it down, of course, it looks fine. You sometimes get like a weird, again, variation in color where it kind of looks a little wonky. And so a lot of times with large, solid images like this, I like to use a little foam mat. This is actually the foam mat from my Stamparatus. You can use like a paper piercing mat or anything like that. To be able to get that, just that little bit of like cushion and oomph to be able to like counterbalance the stamped image so that it kind of presses back for you. So we're going to ink this up again. I took the perfect square. So the perfect square of basic white, you're going to take that, stamp your leaf however you want, like a little crooked, a little off to the side, a little upside down, however you want. You can go ahead and stamp that down. And then we're just going to do some flowers in opposing corners in Daffodil Delight. And then I'm going to, I feel like there's a little like blue dot or something on my stamp. Like it's okay, but like there's just a little blue dot. Anyway, so my inside, I'm also going to add some flowers. Again, opposing corners. I'm going to rotate them around a little bit just so they look a little different. So it doesn't look like I literally just stamped once and twice for that, like, you know, same look. I kind of want it to look different. Okay, so this piece is done, ready for the inside. You can always add a greeting of your choice too. Oh, that's not my card that I'm working on. So we're just going to add this to the inside of our card. And then back to the front piece. We have this one, and I'm going to, oh, wait, we still need that little bitty strip. We're going to stamp some flowers on the end. And then I also stamped the greeting in real red. You can bug me anytime. Do make sure that your image is always like over top of the foam and not half hanging off, because that could be a problem. Perfect. Okay. Set that aside. Bring back in my pieces. So now we're going to do that square towards the top of your basic black, but with a nice little border. And the greeting panel on the bottom with that same border. So there's going to be like a split piece where it's just basic black. And that is where your ribbon is going to go. So this is the Real Red Faux Linen Ribbon. And I'm just going to put it there and tie a double knot. So left over right, right over left, little Girl Scout square knot. And it's okay if you don't like the location of it. What you'll do is squeeze the cardstock to kind of like make it bend. And then that way it kind of loosens up, and then you can set your knot exactly where you want it to be. So just squeeze your black cardstock just ever so slightly, and then rotate your ribbon. So like, see how it moves around and everything? So like a lot of people ask me, like, do I adhere my ribbon down? And I typically do not. That way I can sort of like rotate it and move it as needed. And then now we're going to go ahead and add this to the card front. Of course, if you struggle with getting your knot tight enough, one of the things I'll say is you're almost better off going too tight and then pulling the ribbon to like loosen it and lay your cardstock back flat than you are in going too loose. If you happen to go too loose, flip it over, cut the ribbon, and then adhere it. And then it's tight again. And no one has to know, and your knot is in the front, and everything is just fine. But yeah, just take the back, cut it, pull it tight, and adhere it down that way. You can use tear-in tape to get a nice like tight hold on your ribbon. You could use dimensionals. You could use anything like that to help secure it a little bit stronger. But that is always another little option. So, little stamping tip for you, or crafting tip, since that's not stamping specific. Okay. So there is our base. Now it's time to make that butterfly. So we need our basic white scrap. And I'm going to bring back in my foam mat. And I'm going to take the wings and stamp those. Okay, wait. I want to show you again. I'm going to turn my punch over, and I'm going to show you that we need to do the wings like up and down and on the edge so that we can slide it in and save on paper. So we're just going to stamp these right here, and we're going to stamp our black dots. I used Memento. And I also had some people who preferred to color it in with a black marker. That's perfectly fine too. Nailed it. So excited. Oh, and then I need a black body, but I'm going to go ahead and punch this out. So I like to hold my punch upside down, slide it in where I can see it, line it up. I've squeezed the cardstock enough that it's not moving on me. And then now I can punch. And there we have our little butterfly body. And then now, or those are the wings. Now I'm going to ink up the body. And again, when you look through the stamped image, it should be nice and like solid. Another thing that I will say is if this is the first time that you're stamping this image, I did this in the very beginning. Now mine is kind of well loved, and so it's all good. But you also sometimes get like a funky image when you first stamp, and it's like there's a greasy residue or something on the stamp from manufacturing, and so it sometimes like wants to make the ink like pool in funky areas. So what I suggest is ink it up, stamp all over on a piece of scrap. Just stamp, 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 clean it off, go back to the ink and do that like 2 or 3 times to help sort of clean it and like wear it in, if you will. So ink, 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 ink. And then, wait, is this what I want to do? No, I'm going to go to the other side and stamp. Okay. Hi, Carol. How are you? I'm so excited to see you guys all on. Are you guys ready for Easter? Are you, is it raining? Like, I think it's supposed to like rain on both Saturday and Sunday. So we'll see how the egg hunt goes. Last year, our neighbors actually like egged, our yard. And so I'm kind of like, are you going to do that again? Like, I'll give you the stuff to egg our yard, but can you do that? Like, and if you're not, that's fine. I'll put our eggs out, but like if you are, then like I'll do our eggs at a different time. Like, but yeah, so we shall see if they egg it. I have 50 eggs for our yard, even though Claire's going to go to my parents' house and do another egg hunt. But like it's really hard to only do like a few, so I went ahead and did a million. I need my dimensionals. Yeah, I'm only on late to do the online card class once a month. So I do that in the evening to kind of fit more people's schedules rather than doing it during the day. Also, I will be doing a new catalog launch party in May. So May is going to be kind of like a crazy month where you guys are going to see me all the time at night. The new catalog launch party will be at 7:30 on May 5th. And then the online card class, I feel like I've set the date, or at least I put it on my calendar. But I need to double check when that is so that I can let you guys know. So here we have our little stamped ladybug. Oh, let's stamp our envelope. Bring in the scrap paper again. Okay. So there is our adorable stamped ladybug. Hi, Beth. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited to see all of you guys on for the online stamp class. So exciting. I said this earlier, I do still have card kits available that you can purchase. There's a link in the description box, but you can also get the PDF tutorial. So there's the inside, the envelope, and card number 1 where we stamped the butterfly. And then now we're going to do card number 2 where we are going to punch out the butterfly. So that is the blue card. If you are stamping along with me with the card packet, then you can get out your blue card for the next one. So I'm going to set that one there. Try to scoot some of the ink pads out of the way. And we're going to fold our Pacific Point in half. And for this one, we also have 2 pieces of the basic white. And one is for the front and one is for the inside. So I'm going to bring back in my scrap paper. And we're going to use those 3 little dots. And I'm just going to stamp randomly, aka in a triangle pattern, because that is my random. Also, I'm not going to lie, I was really nervous about the weather. Earlier this week, we had like a severe threat for tornadoes and everything like that. And then by the time it came the next day, we got downgraded and we got nothing. And we also like barely got anything but some rain and some thunder, barely some thunder, like not even really any wind or anything. Thank goodness, of course. But it got me thinking, I sure hope there's no bad weather on Friday, since I feel like online stamp class is bad weather day. So we are doing good and there's no crazy weather. So I'm not really stamping in the middle because as you can see, I have that green panel going down the center. So why stamp a million dots right there? The other thing that I want to say is make sure to fall off of your paper. Like I will show you here. This is the inside piece. Which one looks better? And I mean, you could say both of them look better or that the one looks fine. This one, I did not stamp off. I kind of did just there in that corner. But this one I stamped off and it really just makes it look like the pattern continues. And it's like, it doesn't look like a picture. It looks like a snapshot of a larger picture, if you will. I don't know if that really made sense because I just said it's not like a picture. But yeah, so like I'm just gonna add a few like little like snippet edges to make that then change and look like it's hanging off. I just kind of like that look a little bit better. It doesn't look so like clustered or claustrophobic or I don't know. Nah, that one's too close to the other one. I'm going to stop there. Stop, Laura. No more. Okay. And then we're just going to set those aside and I'm going to bring in my foam mat again so that I can stamp the leaves all over my Granny Apple Green. So we're going to ink that up. I usually kind of like to stamp the first one, like not in the center because I don't want it centered. So not in the center, but like the majority of the leaf on the project. And then sort of fill in from there. So a little over here and a little smidge there and rotate it around. We're going to do a little bit there and here. Maybe even a little bit of the stem. Okay, I'm going to stop there. Again, I don't want to go too crazy. Okay, so now we can go ahead and assemble this onto that basic white piece. In the center, it does match top to bottom. And then this can go on our card front. And then this one's going to go on the inside. Why do I feel like I have ink somewhere? Maybe on my finger, because like I feel like I got ink right there. Oh no, I feel like I got ink on it. I don't think you guys can see it very well, but it's like I got some on my thumb, and then there's... Where is this coming from? So now it just kind of looks dirty, but you know what? I'm going to write over the top of that, and I'll just make sure to write in the correct spot. But yeah, there's like dirty smudgy marks. What did I do? I got it all over my hands and now in my hair. But anyway, we are going to stamp the leaf on our envelope. Ugh, I feel like I wish I had my foam mat, because I just saw the ink like wasn't super pushing in the one spot and it was going to leave an open hole. So I made sure to super push and we're good. But yeah, it was totally like I could see that it wasn't coming out all the way. I'm going to bring back in my scrap and just do like a little portion of the leaf on the back. Okay. Now I am going to get my scrap real red and my basic black real red, or basic black real red. Basic black scrap. And we're going to do a body in the black. 2 of them, actually. I do need some baby wipes. I have them next to me. So 2 bodies and 2 leaves. Leaves. I was calling them leaves on Tuesday. They are not leaves, although they do look like it. They are wings. You could do a flower with these. Maybe. And then you could do like the circle body as like the center of the flower. How cool would that be? And just do more all the way around. That's another idea. Good way to use the stamp set and the punch. Okay, so we're going to take our dots. I know I'm going to want the foam, so I better just bring it in rather than winging it and then going, oh man. So bringing in my foam mat again and my black dots. And now we can assemble our ladybugs. So with that first card, we stamped the ladybug and then punched it out. This one, we are using the colored cardstock to punch it out and assemble it. So there's 2 different ways that you can do it. Whichever way that you prefer or find to be easier is the way that you can go. And then I'm going to add both of those to the card front with dimensionals. Oh my. Oh, that's that one Claire got into. I have been playing with a lot of new catalog goodies. I just feel like it needs another one, and I wouldn't be a dimensional overuser if I didn't, right? But I've been playing with a lot of new catalog stuff and loving it. If you got the card kit, then I hope you enjoyed your little surprise. And that is a little extra goodie for the catalog launch party. So I'm super excited about that. You know what you're ordering at Stamp Club? Good. You can make your wish list right now and then you'll be all set to go. Okay, and I'm actually not going to put this one down yet because I realized that the greeting is kind of snuck under it a little bit. So you can use the greeting, like a greeting of your choice. You can use a die cut label. You can use a punch of your choice, anything like that. I am actually using the double oval punch. So I'm just going to punch some of the Pacific Point in the scallop. And then I'm going to punch some of the basic white. I don't really want to like waste my white. So I'm going to snip off a skinny little spot and slide it in. There we go. And my greeting is my friend. And I'm going to stamp that in Pacific Point. The other thing that I did is I actually created one that doesn't use any sort of punches or die cuts. So if you wish to do something like that, this I just, I used a scrap piece and did a strip, stamped my greeting, "It's a good day," and then just used my scissors to angle it. So you could always do that and then add your second little butterfly. Ladybug. Ladybug, you can add your second little ladybug just like this to that one if you didn't want to use a punch or a die cut or anything like that. So you could always do that. Hi, Linda. Thank you for saying it's a cute card. I'm glad you're enjoying it. Okay, but I'm going to go back to my punch and we're just going to assemble this just like that. And actually the greeting is flat on the card. And you can always put this greeting wherever you need to cover up. You know what? I pushed too hard. I should have put it right there so it could cover up kind of my boo-boo. And then I'm just angling my ladybugs differently. I also forgot my black dots. I forgot the black dots on the first one. So if you have your card kit, you can get out your black dots. And I'm just getting out my take your pick tool to add 5. I know. I went crazy with the black dots on this one. Okay, sorry, that was the old one. Card 1, stamped ladybug. And card 2 is punched ladybug. And our envelope like that. So which one do you guys like better? Do you like card 1 or card 2? Red card or blue card, or stamped ladybug or cardstock ladybug? Let me know which one you prefer in the comments. Okay, the next one we're going to do, if you have your card kit, is the white one. So this one I used thick basic white. You like the red card the best? Thick basic white for the card base. Whenever I'm using white or vanilla as my base, I always like to use thick just so that it's nice and like stronger. Any sort of thing that you stamp on, like if you were to color with blends, sometimes it bleeds through the regular cardstock a little bit, and then you don't want that like bled through look. So you can always do it like that with the thick, and then you don't have to worry about it. Okay. You like the cardstock ladybug? A lot of people liked the cardstock one because then it was like a more bolder image with the butterfly rather than that stamped image. Okay, so we are going to stamp the entire background of the basic white rectangle. not the card base. There's actually a piece of white layered on top of the card base. So make sure you're stamping that, not the regular card base. And I have a couple tips on this. So we're going to stamp the flower. I stamped it twice before going back to the ink to get that like two-tone red look. But I do want to share with you guys a little tip. I'm going to show you that whenever I stamp in full strength near the edge, and then if I stamped again, see how you get that line there? Because as it was like hanging off of the cardstock, there's that line where like the ink didn't soak up on either the scrap or my project. And so whenever I'm doing this, I'm just very careful with doing a full strength and a stamped off all at once, because you don't want that line, that look. So we're going to go back and just do a full strength or do a full stamp off before going back to the card. Now, if your entire flower is on the card, no big deal. Like this one, I'm going to do the entire flower on the card, and then this one's going to be stamped off. And then we're going to do this one, but I'm going to do a full stamp off for this one. And you can make these flowers be as close together or as far apart as you wish. That's like full personal preference. You could also do them all in full strength or all stamped off. So I could also like rotate it around and just do a portion of it too, so that I'm not constantly going back to the ink. But again, just be very careful with that whole line image on the stamped off part. See, and then I want a stamped off one there in the middle, but see how I have this line? Like you can even see that there is still ink on the stamp right here. And we don't want those extra petals to be like a different color. So we're going to full strength off and then stamp that down. And then I'm going to do a little here, go back, and then I'm going to just do like in the middle here. And that is enough. Laura, no more. Actually, wait, I want one more of a stamp off right there. Okay, done. Enough is enough. I tend to like go overboard and then it just looks like a hot mess. So now I'm going to fill in with the center of that flower in Daffodil Delight. And the full strength ones are getting full strength centers and the stamped off ones are getting stamped off centers. So that one and that one. And then this one and this one. And this one and that one. Full strength, stamped off. Full strength, stamped off. Full strength. And that's all of them. So there we have our background. And I'm going to set that aside for now. So now we can go ahead and add this to our card front. The other awesome thing about this is, one, you get that nice little layered effect where there's a white border. And two, if you happen to like mess up on all of this stamping, you're not ruining your card front. You're just, using a different thing. Good, I'm glad you enjoyed that tip. I always I want to explain things. It's so hard for me to explain in the tutorial. Like, I wrote it in the PDF tutorial and my husband was like, what? And then I kind of said it again and we changed some wording and I was like, I'll explain it more in the video. And he's like, okay, good. I always use him as my tip person so that, I'm like, if you don't understand, then maybe like my stampers aren't going to understand. So I always kind of want to make sure that it makes sense. And like I said, I'm awful at like explaining things. I'm just more of a visual person. And so yeah, I really struggle with that. So there's our little flower on our envelope. And now it is time to do our ladybug strip. So I'm actually going to move that out of the way because we don't actually need that. And now we're going to do the walking ladybug. And I'm just going to ink him up in the Memento Black. Lots of little pounce, pounce, pounces. Again, if you have problems getting that nice solid image, stamp it, stamp off a whole bunch, clean it, do it again, and then using a foam mat helps as well with that solid image. And then I stamped the first one of this in the center to help with my spacing. Not to say that my spacing is perfect. It just helps. See, I didn't say stamp in the middle for perfect spacing. I said for help with spacing. Okay, and then we also want to stamp a little one on the inside of our card down in the corner. And then we're going to take the body, I guess, the colored part of the ladybug, and do him in real red. I feel like I need to re-ink my real red. I know I re-inked the Daffodil Delight and the Granny Apple Green, but I feel like the real red might need it a little bit too. And it's okay if these don't line up perfectly. It gives like a nice little like white shadow if you don't line it up perfectly, and like that just kind of gives that like understandable like white line. Like, I don't know what you call that, but where like it doesn't go all the way to the edge like on purpose. Or I don't know, maybe nobody does that on purpose and it's all supposed to be like that. So like there's like a small little white line here and around his head, a small little white line there, a small little white, like it's okay. No one is going to notice that but you whenever you immediately do it. Even later, you're probably going to be like, where did I mess up? So don't worry at all. And there's our little ladybug on the inside. Again, you can add a greeting if you want to the inside. And then on the outside, I did It's Your Day, or It's a Good Day. It's a Good Day. And I did that in real red. It's a good day. 3 little ladybugs with a 4th one on the inside. And then now we're going to add this to the card front. And there's a border on either side, top to bottom, but it does go, whoa, does it go side to side? Why do I feel like mine is a little off? Oh, because mine is off. Okay, so I went all the way to the one side. Now I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to put it on my card front and then use the edge of the card front as my guide to snip off that little extra. And this can kind of go like in the middle. It can go towards the top, towards the bottom, wherever you want to like cover up either a mistake with the flowers, or where you're like, oh, but that's a really pretty flower. I don't want to miss out on that one. So yeah, you can place that strip wherever you would like. See, like now I feel like there needs to be one right here, but I'm leaving it alone. Oh, I'm glad you think it lines up well. I do too. I think it's because the image like is black, and so it's a little bit easier to see through. You can see that black line art image of the ladybug. And then the red is pretty easy to see through on it. And I feel like it's very tight, like it matches like really well. So you don't have to worry about like the like, well, it's, a hair off or a hair wonky or something like that. Okay, that is card number 3, the all stamped ladybug, no punching. So again, cast your vote. Which one do you like the most? Do you like the first red stamped butterfly or ladybug? The second one that was punched cardstock butterfly. Oh my gosh. Ladybug. Ladybug, ladybug, ladybug. Guess what? Next, we're doing a butterfly. Or do you like the 3 ladybugs? I had to actually catch. Oh, wait, we forgot the dots. Dots, dots, dots. And I'm going to do one there. I'm going to do one right there in that spot that I said needed something. And now it doesn't look so naked. Perfect. Ladybugs. These are ladybugs. In case you were wondering, they are ladybugs, not butterflies. You like the second one best with the punching? You still like number 2? Okay. Linda's still going with the second one. Are you guys yeah, I have butterflies on the brain. I know. Apparently I do. It's so crazy. Okay. Let's see. This next one I think we're done with red. Yes. We're done with red. So I'm putting that ink pad away as to not make any messes. Or here's hoping. So this one actually is a butterfly. So we're not making a ladybug with this one. This one is the butterfly. So if you are stamping along with me, you like number 3 the best? Awesome. Then if you're stamping with me, get out your yellow card. And I actually don't know what order I did this on the PDF tutorial, so I hope I'm not making you jump around too much. If you have purchased the PDF tutorial and you're following along with that. Of course, if you are wondering what I'm talking about, there are still kits available in the description box. You can check out the description and click the link to get one of the card kits. I do still have pre-cut card kits available, but you can also instant download the PDF tutorial and follow along with that as well. Okay, so we can go ahead and we can add our Pacific Point to our Daffodil Delight card base. And then we are going to clean our flower. And you love the colors for card 4. I know. I love blue and yellow together. They're just like so stunning. Love, love, love it. So since we just did that flower in red, we needed to clean that off to now do it in Daffodil Delight. And the pieces of white are the same size. I made sure to not do them in wonky sizes so that you didn't get them confused. So we're going to add a flower on the inside. Okay, so I just did a little stamped on, little stamped off for that inside to sort of like round it out. You love butterflies? Well, I'm glad. This card is for you then, Susan. For the front, I did that same technique that I did with the red one. I did space my flowers apart a little bit. That was per Brad's request. He said the other one looked a little too messy and close together. So I was like, okay, well, I really like the look and I'll take that advice and spread them out a little bit. I actually think I'm going to do this last one stamped off. Well, Okay, stop there. Don't do any more. And then this one, I actually didn't fill in the centers. I left them white. You could always add some black to it. You could add some red to the centers. You could do yellow centers. You could do whatever you want. Like I said, I didn't do anything with my centers. So this piece is going to go on the front on that Pacific point. Whoop. And this piece is going to go on the inside. Again, you can always add a greeting if you wish. And this one is smaller than normal, so just take into account that there's going to be a larger border around because it is 3.5 by 5 rather than the normal 4 by 5.25 because of our blue layer on the front. And like I said, I didn't want to confuse y'all. Okay, so now we're going to take our white and our black and our blue scrap. For this one, again, this is one that you could really do your greeting however you wish. You could do it with a punch of your choice, a die cut, whatever you want, just any sort of little greeting banner piece. So I am using the lovely label punch, and I'm punching out one in the Pacific Point, and I'm punching out one in Whisper White. And then I also need a body in black. And then I'm also going to need 2 of the wings. And those are going to be stamped in Pacific Point. And again, we're going to look at our punch, and I'm going to do them like going up the side here, which I think I still need to clean this because I think it's red still. Oh, I was like, is it right in front of me and I'm not seeing it? Okay. And, oh, no, we're not done with that. We still have the greeting. So now I'm just going to slide these in and punch. I can't get up there. Slide this in and punch. Okay. I need that later, so don't get rid of that. Okay. So we have our 2 sets of blue wings. We have our 1 black body. We have our Pacific Point label and our basic white label. So I'm going to take the greeting. The greeting is, "May your greatest wish come true." And I'm going to ink it up and stamp it like in the corner. And again, if you have a different greeting, a larger greeting, a smaller greeting, you can use whatever greeting you want. And then just position it. The reason why I did it like up in the corner is because I did the flower in the other corner. You could also do it in the center and leave the flower off. You could do it in the center and like stamp off twice with the flower and then stamp over the greeting and sort of have that very light, subtle background of a flower. It's all up to you. There's so many different ways that you could decorate with this piece. So I'm going to bring back in my scrap, and we're going to do a flower. Okay. So So you're probably wondering how I am layering with the same punched image together. And I'm going to show you how I did that. I cut it in half. Now, this does not have to be a straight cut. Okay, just cut it in half. And you want to cut it in half along the flat side of the label. If you are using this label, cut it in half along the flat side. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to add adhesive to the top. And then I don't like to hold this because I find that like holding it, I can't see as well. And I feel like not necessarily shakier, but like just, I feel better like having it down. So I can see where, like how much I have showing. And then I'm just going to press. And now it's going to pick up that adhesive. And we have that layer on the top. Add some adhesive to the bottom and do the exact same. And press. And now we have that layered effect with a single punch, same image, cut it in half, spread it apart. How amazing is that? Super, super cool. I added this to the card with dimensionals. So you can see in the back, I have that nice little split on there because that's as far apart as I created it. And we're going to add that to the card front. Again, you can add this wherever you find like needs, like there's a missing flower there or a boo-boo stamped flower or something like that. So you can add that, that greeting there. And then now for our butterfly. Okay, so you can leave your ladybug body alone, but one of the things I will say is that you will start to see ladybug body coming out between the wings right here. Also, if you positioned it out really far to where you didn't see that, you would have one large butterfly. Okay? So what I did is I literally just took my scissors and trimmed him down. So like we're really just trimming off this like belly of the ladybug. We're just trimming her down. Sort of going to like a point at the bottom, and then I'm just going to round that off. So Brad says she looks kind of like a moth. I'm just going to go with a butterfly. And so I kind of have like a blunt edge on the bottom, so I'm just going to round that off. And there she is. And then I'm going to add just a dab of adhesive. You could also use like mini glue dots or something just for that small little edge. And add the wings. Whoa. Okay, this wing looks a little off. Okay, so there you have your butterfly. And I mean that this time. It really is a butterfly. And then now we're just going to add some dimensionals. And I'm actually, because I want to overlap it a little on my greeting, I'm actually not going to put a dimensional on that one there because that one is going to be like on my greeting, which is already dimensionalized. So I don't want it to be double dimensionalized. So I am leaving a dimensional off in that spot. You can either leave it like alone, or you could always add a little dab of adhesive to that so that it then sticks to your piece here. But now it's not like double dimensional right there and like, you know, raised up. Oh, I forgot. I guess we'll do a yellow flower on the envelope. I guess it was the red one that I remember doing. So there is card number 4, the butterfly card. And I mean that this time. So yeah, let me know what your favorite one is. Is it 1, 2, 3, or 4? I'm just gonna go with that instead of going back through all of the all of the information there. Hi, Julia. I'm so excited to see you on. I hope that you are enjoying this, and I hope that your goodies come tomorrow. That's what they're scheduled for. I was like, really? You have to come the day after? Gotta love shipping though. Okay, next one. We are on card number 5. I'm super excited that I'm only an hour in because it took quite a while to do these cards in person. But I will say, in a class with a whole bunch of people, we were like waiting on stamp sets and stuff because of all like the background stamping and stuff like that, or waiting on the punch. So I thought, well, maybe it'll be easier for me to do this because I really don't want this to be like a 3-hour class. So yeah, I'm excited that I'm only an hour in. I am always so like surprised at like why some of these take longer or don't take longer or anything like that. I think it's because I just talk too much or something. But I will say this last card is a doozy. But it's okay. It's baby steps. We'll get through it one little step at a time. You like the way I made the butterfly? Okay, well, if you liked the butterfly, what do you think about bumblebees? Super cute and simple front, kind of basic, kind of like not all that impressive. And then we have little bees. Aren't they the cutest thing ever? Like, come on now. Those are adorable. So with the Hello Ladybug, you can get ladybugs, punched, stamped, cardstock, standing, or, walking along. You can also get a butterfly or a moth, whichever you want to call that. And you can get bumblebees. So how cute is this? Okay, don't get overwhelmed. It'll be fabulous. We're going to start with the front. So we have our basic black card base. Oh, also, me and Brad have talked about this before, and he's like, you need to ask your stampers. You need to ask your stampers. So I'm asking all of you guys. Do you guys talk about folding things hamburger style and hot dog style? Like, if I say that, are you like, what the heck is she talking about? Or are you like, oh yeah, totally. So let me know. When I say folding something hamburger style or hot dog style, do you know what I mean? Okay, this one, you do have 2 different sizes of basic white. Make sure that for the front, you're using the larger basic white piece, okay? The larger basic white piece, you're going to stamp the dots in black all over the background. So back to those little dots, which I need to clean. You love the bumblebees? Aren't they the cutest? Yeah, I love it. And the versatility, 1 stamp set, 1 punch, and you can get so much out of it. Okay, so we're doing random. We're kind of doing random. I'm not good at random. You see what I mean with the triangle? Like, you see this triangle here? I always stamp, my random is triangles. And I'm randomly moving my stamp around just so that it doesn't look like it's the same like dots all over, and instead it really is random. The bumblebees are fabulous. I am glad you guys are so excited about it. And it's so funny. I was telling one of the girls at the class, and she goes, I don't like bumblebees. Which I get it. Bumblebees can sting. No big deal. And so I thought, oh, well, you're not going to like the last card. And she's like, oh, really? Is it a bumblebee? And I'm like, it is. We get done making it, and she squealed and was like, this whole class was amazing because of this card. And I'm like, but you didn't like bumblebees. And she's like, I know, but I do now. So she's a bumblebee converted person. See, and now you know why it took forever to do this class. Because when you have a million people waiting to do this on the back of a piece of cardstock, it does take a while. Okay, so we're going to set that aside to assemble here in a minute. We're going to take our white scrap. I'm not sure if I need, oh yes, I do need that. We're going to take our white scrap, and I'm going to stamp the flat or the leaf. And then I'm going to fussy cut it out. So it doesn't really matter where you stamp it. And then I'm also going to take hello and randomly stamp it. Actually, I'm going to stamp that in the corner because then I have less cutting to do. I just have to cut 2. Okay. So now we're going to fussy cut this out. I did like a rough cut with a slight white border. You can do it like right to the edge if you want. So that just kind of is personal preference. And also, when you guys fussy cut out, for those of you who like it, or even for those of you who don't like it, when you cut, do you move the scissors or do you almost move the cardstock around? And yes, I did contemplate cutting off the stem because that was annoying, which I'm going to come back to the stem once I'm done. You only know hamburger and hot dog is food. Okay. So, like, I honestly don't think I had ever heard of hamburger style or hot dog style until I was older. Like, that was not a thing except for food when I was a kid. Now, I can't say it was like whenever I met Brad. It might have been before then. But yeah, he's like, everybody knows what that is. And I'm like, no, they don't. And so I don't like using it as a description for folding something hamburger style or hot dog style. So, are you guys team Brad or team Laura? Do you know what that means? So, like, I guess, which this piece of paper is not really the best, but like, you know, this would be hamburger or would be hot dog, and this would be hamburger. So, if that makes sense, like the long way would be hot dog. Like, so if I were to, like, I guess you would say I folded this hamburger because I folded it like that. Whereas if I folded it in half the other way, it would be hot dog. I'm pretty sure that's how it goes. Okay, and then my little hello, I'm just like rough cutting a rectangle around it. Okay, now we can assemble the card front. Where did our black go? You never knew. Okay, this is amazing because I feel like Brad was like, everybody knows this, and they don't. You guys don't know about this. And so now I feel like I win. Okay, so we're going to add that polka dotted card front to our basic black card base. And then the strip of black goes down. This can go in the middle. It can go towards the bottom, towards the top, wherever you would like. Covering up a spot, that works too. And then we're going to take the leaf, flip it upside down. You can add a little adhesive to it if you wish. And then we're going to take the twine and wrap it around 4 fingers. You've never heard of it. I've heard it, but it's still confusing. Yeah, see, I kind of find it confusing too. Like, well, is that hamburger or is that hot dog? Because is that the longer side or is that the squattier side? Like, yeah. Oh, yay. I love it that you guys don't know about that. I guess consider yourselves informed now. So I'm going to take the twine and wrap it around my 4 fingers. And then I'm going to just take the loops and slide them off. And place them, like, sometimes I kind of do like a figure 8 so that it kind of gives like a flary look, but that part's not necessary. And then I'm just going to press that into my leaf, pulling the little like strands apart if you wish, or just to like position them where I want them. And then like, I don't really want him, I want all loops. So I'm just going to like loop him back in. And then same with this side. I'm just going to spread them out for like a more like flared look. And then pull that end back in. Just like that. Okay, now I'm going to add dimensionals all over the back of it, like I normally would. Where did my dimensionals go? Here they are. And this also, I put like over the top of those strands to sort of secure them, like, don't move, I want you to be right there. Okay, I think that's enough. So Beth, you knew about it? Do you teach that to your students? Do they understand? Or are they confused? Or do they just think it's funny and they totally get it because they're kids and they don't overthink things like adults do? Okay. So now we have our little decorative leaf. And you can add this to your project like however you want, like upside down, or I mean, if you call that upside down, just in any sort of angle that you wish. And then I just added the little hello over the top of the leaf. You could also add your greeting off to the side over here too. So you have heard about it. Interesting. So there's your card front. Now it's time for the inside. So we're going to take our Granny Apple Green, and first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to score 5/8 of an inch on the long side. So that is 2 little tick marks higher than the half. Make sure not to grab the cutting blade, but instead the scoring blade. Okay, so we're 5/8 of an inch. I did a score line. One of these pieces, we are going to stamp the leaf all over the background, not stamping on the tab. But it really doesn't matter if you did. See, and I'll tell you, like, it doesn't really look like it per se, but I can tell that my ink pad needs to be re-inked because I'm getting like a variation in color, which I kind of like because it is a leaf. But if you don't like it, just re-ink. So you can see like it's lighter over here and it's lighter over there. And that's where like sometimes I like to like move all around on an ink pad to like soak up ink everywhere. But again, it's a leaf, and so I kind of feel like the variation in color kind of makes it look real, if you will. So I gave Claire a big hugging kiss before I came down for her to go to bed, and totally expecting her to still come down. And she didn't. She just, which I know she was super tired. She just went straight to bed, and now I'm like kind of sad. Like, you know, you're always kind of like, oh, good, I got out of bedtime routine. But then, like, you know, you miss it whenever you don't have it. Ah, the joys of parenting. You're like, I need a break. And then like an hour in, you're like, I miss them. Okay. So now I'm going to fold on my tabs, and I'm actually going to use a bone folder to get a nice strong crease on that. Oh, also, I don't know, I didn't really like explain, but I took that other piece of basic white and just stamped one leaf on it, and that's just for the inside. Let me show you the inside again while we're working on this. I think I'm done with the green, so I'm gonna put that away before something bad happens. I'm also gonna close the blue one and the yellow one. Actually, I think I'm done with all ink pads. Okay. So now I'm going to take some Terran tape. I really like Terran tape. I really like Terran tape, but I really like it for this because I'm putting the adhesive like on there where I can easily rip it off later when I'm ready. Whereas like your regular like runner tape or liquid glue, like once you put it on, it's on, and it's not like you can't take it back off or like cover it up and wait a little bit. Whereas you can with the Terran tape. So I added it to the back side of both of these. This is going to be the top of my card. This is going to be the bottom of my card. This is also going to go on the bottom of my card. I can go ahead and add that on. Okay, so these two are going to go on the inside of the card. Making sure that that crease joins at the crease of our basic black card base. So there's going to be like a nice border around all of these, and then they're both going to meet there in the middle. And yes, the center of this card, or like, you know, the binding or whatever of this card is pretty chunky and thick. I will admit to that. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and take this. I'm going to add adhesive to the back. I'm only adding adhesive to the back here, and I'm leaving this Terran tape strip covered. Okay, I don't want that to be sticky just yet. Okay, press. And then on this one, I just want to like line up those tabs and press. Okay, so now I still have my available tabs here in the middle with that adhesive. And I want it to stay that way for now. Okay, we're going to really push on that. Okay, it's going to kind of pop open a little bit. But that's okay, because we want it to kind of pop open and see the fabulous bumblebees on the inside. Okay, so now we're gonna make our little bumblebee. So there's a little piece of yellow scrap, and you can either use scissors or you can use a paper trimmer. And I did a 1/4 inch strips. And you technically need 4, unless you did like all the way across. Like if you were using a scrap piece at home, like I'm gonna go ahead and cut these last 2 just in case I need them for some reason. You could do a 1/4 inch like long skinny one, 1/4 inch and then long, and then punch 2 of them. And then now we're gonna get out our black, and I'm gonna pull the punch in and show that I'm gonna slide it in here. So, but it's upside down. So using like this punched one as a guide, I am going to add this like about right here. And then like a 1/4 inch apart. So like think of like the 1/4 inch yellow, a 1/4 inch black, and then another 1/4 inch yellow piece placed down. And we're going to do 2 of these. Okay, so here's our 2 bumblebees. We're going to slide it in. And I just like to have my yellow like in that round belly of the bumblebee and not like up by his face. So you can either do it like right at the top, you can do it down a little farther, kind of depends on your spacing of your yellow. But that's how it is in the punch before you punch it, and that's just, personal preference. So punch, slide it over and punch a second one. And then we actually need 2 all black ones. So punch again, round the corner, punch again. Wow, I gave a lot of extra black scrap, it looks like. Okay, so where's all of our, like, actual pieces? We have our 2 bumblebees and our 2 black ones. Here's sort of my scrap pile over here. And then you have window sheet. So that is that clear stuff that you can't see whenever I talk about it. So some of you guys might have like one really long strip of window sheet, and some of you guys might have 2 strips. You need 2 strips, but you can have them at varying heights. So what I'm going to do is also, you sometimes get a little bit where like the punch doesn't want to go through both pieces of cardstock all the way, and it kind of wants to like munch it a little. So you can just trim that off with some scissors. Another thing you could do if you really wanted to, it's a little bit more tedious, but I did do it on one of them. I punched out the black one, laid the strip across the yellow strip, and then cut it with my scissors. But like I said, it's a little trickier because, you're like fussy cutting yourself rather than using the punch. But that's, however, like bold you feel. Okay, so I'm just going to add some tear and tape to that, and 2 little side-to-side tear and tape to a black one. And then my other bumblebee, I'm going to add a strip and then 2 across on the all black one. Okay, and then I want my bumblebees to be different. So like one of them I kind of want to be like angled one direction, and then the other one I want to be angled in a different direction. And I'm just going to add the solid black one to the back. So I'm sandwiching in that window sheet. So see how he's angled this way? So my other one, I'm going to kind of angle up in the other direction. So there we have the two bumblebees. And I'm going to place them like inside my card and see kind of where I want them to be, and then trim off any extra window sheet that I might have. So like this one I want to make small, so I'm going to trim the window sheet like down to here. If you have one strip of window sheet, just kind of, you know, trim off and then add the other one as needed. Okay, so now we can trim, or we can adhere with that tear and tape. So I just ripped off one side, pressing in the window sheet, pressing in the window sheet, tear off the other side. And then I'm not even going to mess with it. I'm just going to close my card. Because I don't want to like pull it and then have it like, well, once you stick it, it's done. But have it like stick and then be like off a little to where then my card doesn't close. So I prefer to just close my card knowing that it's nice and secure. And those pieces are then smashed between there. Oh my gosh, I totally was forgetting the wings. I thought something kind of looked weird about them. So I have a piece of vellum. And there's one wing and a second wing. And I used a mini glue dot, or these little dots that are like mini glue dots that come in kits all the time. And I have like 1,000,001 of them. And I'm just going to put one of these little mini glue dots at like the base of his neck, if you will. And then press the vellum into it. And then because you can see that little mini glue dot, I have added a black matte dot over the top of that mini glue dot, securing the wings on. Okay, now my bees have come to life and they look like real and super cute. So really the wings aren't really held on by a lot, but like he's not actually flying, so it's okay. They're not going to get like caught in the wind or anything. It'll be just fine. And then that kind of makes them pop up a little bit and look a little like 3D. So there you have your Hello Bumblebee card. The taller one is always going to be like a little floppier, and then the other one's going to be kind of like straight. So you can see he's kind of straight and he's kind of floppy. But super, super cute. Let's stamp a leaf on this last card, or envelope. Ugh, see, and there's where the mat comes in handy. I have that little like center that didn't stamp all the way. If I had the mat, it would have been just fine. Hi, Angie. It is a very happy card, isn't it? I know, I love it. Okay, that is the fifth and final card for this April online card class with the Hello Ladybug. We made, that one's your favorite? Love, love, love the bees. See, everybody loved the bee card. Even if you're not a fan of bees, it's still a super cute card to be able to create and send out. But here are the 5 cards. Like I said, I do still have card kits available. So if you are loving this and you want to recreate these, of course, you can always watch the video again. It'll always be here on Facebook as well as on YouTube. So you can always purchase the card kit and I'll get it mailed out on Monday. So then you would get it right away, as well as the fun little surprise that everyone else got in their card kits. If you want to recreate this because you have all these supplies at home, but want all of the dimensions and everything like that, then you can always download the PDF tutorial. So go to the link in my description and you can see all the information for both of those. And yeah, I'll have my May card class. The details on that will be coming soon. I will be using new catalog product. So super excited about that. If you do enjoy stamping with me in the evening, be sure to come back on March 5th for the new catalog launch party. I'll be going over the in colors, lots of new samples and goodies, and we will be stamping together that night as well. It'll be at 7:30. So stay tuned for that. Like, subscribe, share, all those fun things. Let your friends know about me, as I appreciate all of that very, very much. I hope you guys will have a wonderful weekend. I hope you have a happy Easter. Love, hugs, and prayers from me to you. Stay safe, stay healthy, and have a great weekend. Bye.